Hi everyone, Iris J here with Madrona's Pulse Teachings, Astrology for Healing. And I am here giving you a short video on this shifting energy that is coming in March, which is that Saturn, transiting Saturn, is moving from where it's been in Aquarius into the new energy of Pisces. This is one of our major shifts of 2023. Very soon after this, we have another major shift as Pluto begins its journey into Aquarius, where Saturn has just been. And, you know, I will make several videos about this energy, different ways we can come into it, different ways that we can work with it, the way it's impacting us individually versus collectively. Of course, those are always related. Here, I really just want to touch on some of the general themes for you to have just as you're feeling the shifting energy over the next month. So this is going to include talking a little bit about the energies of Saturn coming into Pisces and what that is going to be working with in us. And then also some suggestions for leading up to that, reflecting on the end of Saturn's journey in Aquarius and what that has been doing for us, how that's been shifting us. Because when we take some time and reflect with that, then that also prepares us to enter into the new energy of Saturn with Pisces. I will at another point in time do a video that's really talking about the different energy of Saturn in the different houses, depending upon where you have Pisces. Of course, that's very important. And if you know where you have Pisces in your chart, that you can already be thinking about that while I'm talking about these more general themes. And so dates, March 7th, 2023, and then Saturn will be in Pisces into 2026. In February 2026, it will start moving on. And so for most of 2023, we're going to be looking at Saturn going up from 0 to 7 degrees of Pisces and then coming back. So especially if you have points, objects, in those first 7 degrees, and that's going to be more energy that Saturn's working with you in Pisces. And what is Saturn and Pisces going to be opening up for us? So it is always very significant when a planet comes into Pisces because this represents the ending of a cycle. Astrology is all about cycles. That's why it's so helpful to work with us in our everyday lives, because it helps us tune in to the cycles in our bodies that are happening in shorter periods of time, how those shorter cycles are part of much longer cycles, how our individual cycles are always interwoven in with collective cycles. And whenever a planet comes into Pisces, it's marking the end of its turn around the zodiac. It's coming into Pisces, the final water sign. And this, in some ways, this represents a closing process, because what's going to happen is then it's going to come into Aries, the first sign of the zodiac. Aries is the archetype of whew, bang, I'm here. I've just come out of the primordial soup. I've just come out of oneness. I'm here. It's very primal energy. It's focus. It's going. Pisces is what comes before that. It's what we have to let go of and shed so that we can, in a sense, be born again, so that we can begin a new cycle. And Saturn coming into Pisces, I'm really working with Saturn here. One of its archetypes is very much, it's aligned with that Capricorn archetype of the wise elder energy. And so something about these next 3 years, and where we have Pisces in our chart, is asking us to do the work, and there will most likely be some work involved. Saturn is, after all, the archetype of work that allows that elder to become deeply present, deeply embodied, and really guiding us on our future journeys forward. This is the opportunity that's present. And in order for that to happen, you know, wherever Saturn is, it asks us to get real about something. So Pisces, in its deepest archetype meaning, is the experience of spirituality. It is our oneness with Source, Spirit, God, Divine Mystery, Goddess, Earth Consciousness, Gaia, all the languages that we have to describe the creative source. And Pisces is our dissolving of ego completely and merging and being one with that source. This is why it is also the oceanic experience of dreams, the collective unconscious. It is the way that art is used to communicate those experiences. Art being poetry, dance, movement, all the different aesthetic modalities that we have. And something about Saturn journeying through Pisces is asking us to get quite real about our own spiritual practices, our own spiritual direction, our own communion with Source. It's a wonderful opportunity. At first glance, these energies almost seem a little bit oppositional. Saturn is structure. Saturn is boundaries. Saturn is the line between what is known and what is unknown, and it helps us work and achieve accomplishments in whatever way we want to. Pisces is the Neptunian lack of boundaries. It is the fusion of illusion and delusion and dream and fantasy, all of it coming together. It is knowledge that exists outside the concrete structures of meaning making that we have ordered cognitive determination around. So on the one hand, these energies seem so different, and yet when they come together, Saturn allows us to create structures within that oceanic Neptunian force that is Pisces. It allows us to bring structure to, say, meditation practices. It allows us to do whatever it is we need to do in our lives. And this is going to take years because we're entering a yearly cycle with this. 3-year cycle, sorry. So that wise elder archetype that lives within all of us, whose knowledge is ancient, is in our bones, so that she, he, or they can emerge in our psyche. So one of the ways that Saturn is probably going to ask us to do this is it's going to ask us to clean up our psyche a bit. It's going to go into this, undifferentiated kind of boundaryless place where we probably have some self-created illusions about, maybe we haven't brought certain structures to our spiritual practice, or maybe we resist certain elements, or maybe we dip in a little bit too far into fantasy world sometime in a way that just isn't actually helping us to embody our relationship with Source in certain ways. And Saturn wants to come in and it wants to clean up that a bit. It wants to bring some form into that which is formless. It wants to communicate with us whatever it is that needs to be communicated. Making art out of those Piscean Neptunian experiences is a way that we could even see Saturn working, because Saturn creates form out of what is formless when it's coming in to Neptune. And what we've been doing with Saturn in Aquarius is hopefully helping us to evolve in the ways that we needed to evolve our psyche, our spirit, our intuitive vision, which is all part of Aquarius, our sense of humanity that we embody within ourselves and how that goes out with others. Whatever we've been working on and whatever layers we've been peeling back, whatever structures we've been putting in place, hopefully it is so that we can evolve into the next level. And the next level is Pisces. The next level is our spiritual oneness. So that is actually fueling us, so that in 3 years, that elder is so present within us and we have cleaned up our psyches, which can get pretty cobwebby. Saturn comes in with the ultimate dust busters, like, nope, right? Like Netflix before bed, no. This practice here, no. A little bit more art making, a little bit more meditation, a little bit more walking in nature, a little bit more tapping into however it is that you summon up that elder and get to know her, him, or them. Really, this is an invitation to get to know that elder voice within ourselves. 3 years, how beautiful is that? 3 years to just get to know this archetypal energy that lives within us. This is not Saturn having to be scary or the patriarchal father oppressor. I don't work with that in my practice. That exists. That's humans. That's what we've done. Saturn is the pure archetypal energy that we are gifted with this co-creative journey with. And so these are some of the themes that are going to be coming up as Saturn enters into Pisces. As we have a month now, we have a month before this shift happens. And so some things we can do are really just reflect. Where do you have Aquarius? Where is Saturn sitting in your chart right now? What's been going on for you in these areas? You know, what visions of evolution for yourself have emerged? You know, and especially say in the last 6 months, how have these visions, how have you embodied them? How have they shifted? How have your ideas of work shifted? Maybe things have happened online for you. Maybe you've shifted foundations of what work even means. You know, whatever we've been working and shifting, that's going to hopefully be in ways that it's working. It's going to be hopefully a foundation for us to stand on and do this inner cleaning out of our psyche. And if it's not a strong foundation, it's most likely going to fall away. And that's also something that can happen with Saturn in Pisces, because remember, this is the end of Saturn's journey through the zodiac. So that which doesn't serve us to the ultimate embodying our journey with spirit, that also could fall away. And where we have Saturn in our chart and where we have it coming out of Aquarius right now, those are areas where we can kind of look for reflections around that. And so really just taking, you know, especially with Saturn in Aquarius, what's the vision that you've been working on? Aquarius is our visions. What's the vision for your own evolution, for how your evolution brings you into community, brings you into group consciousness, also allows your rugged, rebellious individuality, because that's also part of Aquarius, right? All of that how has that been coming up for us in this past while? We can also take some time and really honor all the changes, the shedding, the structures that have shifted, that we've been emerging with, and let that fall and honor it as we prepare to come into this work with Saturn and Pisces. And there will be some work, but again, it's also Pisces. So, you know, there could be moments of confusion. There most likely will be moments of confusion. And when those moments hit, it's really useful to come into the practices that just ground us and take us out of our mind. Nature-based practices, really important here. And there will be so many more videos about this energy because it's with us now. We're just entering into it soon. And then we also have Pluto in Aquarius to talk about, which is a huge, huge shift. So with that, it is nice to see you. I hope that you're doing well, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.